Brielle Cotterman is a TEDx speaker, a publicity expert, and celebrity maker. She has spent the better part of the last decade helping clients to craft and scale dream careers to 7 figures and beyond by leveraging their personal stories and passion in order to create speaking tours, author award-winning books, procure media placements, and inspire the millions of people that need to hear their story. She is a survivor of attempted murder and domestic violence and an advocate for a world where intimate partner abuse is not tolerated and survivors are met with empathy. Her clients are regularly featured in Entrepreneur, Forbes, Martha Stewart Living, Good Housekeeping, The Rachel Ray Show, and many more places. And today we are going to be talking about the importance of publicity and how it can make an impact in your business. So how many of you just in the chat would show us, how many of you are looking for more publicity and visibility for your business? If you haven't raised your hand, raise it, because you should be. Like, you really should be looking for more visibility, more publicity. So Brielle, let's kind of start off just at the foundation level of how publicity can impact your business.
Well, Amy, you know that I am a huge believer that if you don't allow people to know who you really are, then your business is a commodity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't have any of that connection. And it's just like what we were listening to just a moment ago. If you don't have that personal connection with your clients, then there's no reason for them to choose you over and over again. And publicity gives you the opportunity to do that. It gives us access to the world's stage, and it really gives us the freedom to share the stories, share our messaging, our impact, our breakthrough story, which, you know, is rooted back to our why, all of those pieces. And if we don't take that opportunity and step up onto that world stage, then, you know, we are just a service provider just like anybody else.
Yeah, and it really does keep you in that space of, oh, you do business coaching, somebody else does business coaching. Oh, you are a dentist, somebody else is also a dentist. You're the attorney here, that's the attorney there. It's the ability to be the local expert or the celebrity dentist or the celebrity realtor in your area, and really is going to help set you apart from all of your competition, because you're the one that's getting the publicity and getting interviewed and getting to share that story and that personal connection. So I
absolutely
agree. Because I mean, think about it. If you see 2 different people that do the same thing, and you're just looking at perceived value, whose do you perceive as higher? The one who is talking about themselves, or the one who is being interviewed by somebody that you really respect and admire? Like, there's something about that other person that raises the value in your mind, whether it's real or not, it's perceived, and so it becomes real.
Well, and the thing is, you know, we take a lot into consideration when we think about crafting strategy at our group, because we just go beyond just traditional PR, because what we do is we help our clients to get ROI. And so what you were mentioning is that perceived value. And what that goes back to is, when you think about human nature, it's always easier to choose something if somebody else has already chosen it. It's always easier to choose something if someone that we respect and admire is also choosing it.
Yeah.
So when you think about, you know, for instance, I have a client feature that's getting ready to come out in Entrepreneur Magazine. Entrepreneur Magazine is typically a brand that we admire, that we acknowledge, that we hold, you know, kind of in high esteem. And so if they are choosing Amy to interview, they could have chosen anyone. So it's so much easier for us to say, yes, I want to work with Amy versus anyone else, because this third party that I trust, they have verified her, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're stepping forward, they are choosing her, and that gives you credibility. It positions you as subject matter expert. It positions you as that authority, and then it makes that decision to work with you so much easier.
Yeah, for sure. And that's honestly why I really love your firm, is because you are focused on conversion, not just getting out there. And there are a lot of publicity firms that are just focused on, we'll just get you media placements, media placements, media placements, media placements. But without a bigger strategy behind it, it doesn't mean that you're getting more sales. So do you want to dive into that just a little bit more, like how you create a strategy for someone to make sure they're in front of the right people sharing the right message?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, all of our work is rooted in story because here's the other piece. If let's say you are a decision maker, a media decision maker at Entrepreneur Magazine, you're going to be getting, and I'm not exaggerating here, a couple 100,000 email pitches every month.
Right.
And so when they are going through and they are choosing who they're going to feature, it's not just about your business accomplishments. It's about a story. It's about something interesting, something that inspires the person who's reading it, because at the end of the day, we are talking to their audience. And so we have to bring something that's going to give value to their audience. And that's why we focus everything on story. Also, because once you do get that opportunity and we're looking to turn that media opportunity into profit, I call it publicity to profit. We have a very strategic approach. And you're right, most publicity firms focus on procuring publicity, as they should. My background is in sales and marketing. And so after spending, nearly a decade in publicity, after that, I had the opportunity to see every single client as a case study, basically, because I wanted to know, why are some of these people skyrocketing to success and why are some of them kind of plateauing? And it came back to that piece of the breakthrough story. It came back to sharing who you are, what you stand for, and your why, and doing so in a way that is inspirational. And that is the piece that we put into place when we come back to that strategy. So when we're looking at, let's say, for instance, that you had the opportunity to, hi, Alice, nice to see you. It's when you have the opportunity to give a TED talk or, take the stage at some large event, what you want to do is you want to kind of draw out, what is that overarching message that you're sharing in that appearance, in that article, in that podcast interview. And then you want to kind of break it down into subsequent stories from your own personal life. Hopefully a lot of those we tie into your business, but people want to know you. They want to know why you're doing what you're doing and what sets you apart. Just like you mentioned, if you're the hometown dentist, then what sets you apart from the dentist across the street? Right. And that's what we do. We strategically create kind of like a media playbook, and we pull out these stories that are inspirational because we want to connect and we want to inspire action. And that's what we do.
So one thing that I love that you do is you take these pieces where you've positioned them where they have the right story, and then you put them on the right platforms, but then you take that back and you use that content to then re-engage their current customers and future customers. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because I truly think that's probably where more of the sales come from than just the actual feature in Entrepreneur Magazine. It's probably more, and maybe I'm wrong, I'm happy to be wrong, but do you think that they get more new clients from the Entrepreneur Magazine, or because they show all of their people that are already aware of them, the Entrepreneur Magazine, and then the people move closer?
No, you're absolutely correct. So here's the thing. When we draw in those new views, those new eyeballs, the new prospects that are coming in from, let's say, a media feature or a talk or any of the beautiful pieces that make up media, we basically have to look at that like a sales funnel. Every single publicity opportunity is your opportunity to create a new sales funnel and bring new people into your nurture sequence and to move them even closer to being a prospect or a client. But what it also does is it gives us the opportunity to shift those prospects even closer to us. Because it's just like you said, those are the people that are already in our audience. One of my clients calls them swarmers. They're the people that they're taking in the information. They're going to your free webinars. They're doing all of those pieces. They're gathering information for their decision making. And so then once you step forward with this additional piece of credibility, you give them the opportunity to dive into that story sequence that you're going to be sharing even more and feel even closer to you and more connected to you, then they are more likely to step forward and step into that role of client versus prospect.
Yeah. Well, and I think this is an important understanding, and why when you get ready to step into PR, and I do want to talk a little bit about when's the right time to step in, but when you do step into PR and you're deciding, who am I going to work with? if you're just working with a PR firm that wants to just put you out and get you placements, but you don't have the actual sales strategy and the funnel behind it, it's going to feel frustrating and like a waste of money and time, which is why when I met Brielle, I was like, oh, you have the missing piece. I'm so excited because I just really believe that when you as a business owner don't understand what something accomplishes, you jump into it thinking you'll get something different out of it, and then it ends up frustrating. When you understand how to use it and how to work it, and you have the whole strategy in place, that's when it's really beautiful. So let's talk about, when is the right time for PR for their business?
So for me, and you kind of alluded to this earlier, there are 3 distinct phases to publicity.
Mm-hmm.
So there's local and regional.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is niche specific or subject matter expert. And then there's that thought leader influencer level where you kind of move beyond just having questions asked about your business and your area of expertise. And you start giving your opinions about, fashion or being a parent or, the way we live, your lifestyle, all of those sorts of pieces. So when it comes to actually choosing the time, I think more importantly is choosing the phase of publicity that you're in. Mm-hmm. And I think that takes some really objective evaluations because, we don't want to start pursuing publicity before we have a credible business. We don't want to start pursuing publicity before we know the story that we want to tell.
Yes.
That is the most important piece. And we also don't want to start pursuing publicity until we know the movement that we want to inspire.
Yeah.
And that movement can be in support of something that you're passionate about. It can be in support of an advocacy. It could be a movement of shifting someone from a prospect to an actual client. Mm-hmm. So those pieces, those are the 3 pieces that are really important to take into consideration. It's also really important to take into consideration your skill set. Mm-hmm. Because there are some people that are more naturally inclined to be on camera. There are some people that are excellent writers. And now there's a huge difference, obviously, between writing copy and writing as a subject matter expert, getting the features, getting the expert quotes, those sorts of things. There are some people that do great on podcasts, but really honestly evaluating where it is that you stand. What's your skill set look like? Are you ready? Is your business viable? Do you have a story and are you prepared to share it? And then what is the right phase of publicity for you to begin pursuing?
Yeah, I love it. So I'm going to make a bold statement and you can say if you disagree with me or not. But when you get to a certain point in your business, people start paying attention and you start getting these things like, I'd love to feature you in my magazine for $1,500. I have a TV spot for you for $20,000. I think you should say no to all of those things until you've done the groundwork. And because if you don't have it, I think you're just wasting money. Do you agree or disagree?
Okay, so here is my thing. I work with, and you know this, my private clients are all 7-figure, multi-7-figure, and 8-figure clients. Mm-hmm. I have group programs where I work with a lot of clients at other levels, but when it comes to my private clients, that's where we work. And those clients who have businesses at that level, we don't pay to play. Uh-huh. So those opportunities are pay to play. The reality of it is in the PR world, most people know which platforms are pay to play and which aren't. Mm-hmm. So the perceived value is, in my opinion, much less when you have to pay to play. It's really quite interesting. People tout frequently that they have made appearances on different podcasts. There are some podcasts that will charge you $20,000 in sponsorships, $5,000 just to apply. Not every single one. We booked last week, we had a client interviewed on the number 4 business podcast in the world. And of course that's not a pay to play, but for me, earned media has so much more value because they're choosing you based on your accomplishments, based on your story, based on what you bring to the table and to their audience versus what kind of check you're willing to write.
Awesome. I love it. Okay, great stuff, Brielle. As always, I so appreciate you being here with us. If our audience wants to get connected with you and learn more about it, by the way, you guys, she does have really great programs helping you get ready for
Yeah.
media. So crafting that story, crafting all of the pieces that you need to be able to pitch yourself successfully. So she's honestly, I don't know anybody who does a better job with the strategy of selling from your media appearances. And so I would highly recommend that you check her out. But Brielle, where should they go to get connected with you?
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I actually have an upcoming program, which is briellecotterman.com/incubator. And it's exactly what you mentioned. It's that comparison. You know, I saw this huge discrepancy all the time. I saw all of these really awesome people who had such wonderful stories. They had so many incredible things to share with the world, but they weren't the ones getting publicity opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how it works. You know, once you get one, then you get more.
Yeah.
And what I recognize is it's because they didn't have the proper preparation. They didn't know where to step forward and they didn't know how. And so that's why I created this incubator program, so we can see more really incredible people step onto the TEDx stages and equip those people to be interviewed on Rachel Ray and be featured in Forbes and get the type of opportunities that they really are qualified for. They just might not know how to go after them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are so appreciative of you being on with us today. I encourage you guys to go check out the incubator, reach out to Brielle, and I'm sure she's happy to answer questions if you have them. But you guys, if you're not having your eye on media, you should be with the right sales strategy behind it. So thank you, Brielle, so much for being on.
Thank you. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.